Hello and welcome. It's great to see that there are already a couple of people out there. Nice to see you, Jenan and Osa and Susan. Fantastic. Well, let's get started. This is a lightning lesson, and the topic is automating your English switch. And I'm Priscilla from Lightning English. I'm so happy to be here with you today, and I'm so glad that you were able to take a few minutes in your busy day and join me here for this lightning lesson. So let's get started. I know that many of you have this experience because I have it myself as well when I speak Danish. And that is sometimes when you have to speak, especially on the spur of the moment, you realize that your brain isn't switching over to the other language as fast as you need to. Maybe someone asks you a question in English and your answer just doesn't come to mind in English. You're like, it feels like you don't know what to say. You forgot all your words. You don't even know how to put a sentence together. And it can be really frustrating, especially if you speak more than two languages and you're switching from one to another to another. And so today I'm going to give you a few tips on how you can, and things you can do to make that switch easier. Um, and I want you to imagine that there's a light switch that you have to keep turning on and off. And the reality is, the more often that you turn the switch on and off, the better you get at using it. If your switch is a bit rusty and you press it, but it takes a little while for your brain to catch up and switch languages, it can be really, really frustrating. So, what I'm going to do today is share with you a couple of things that you can change in your daily life without really adding any extra things to your workload. I'm not asking you to spend extra time on it. I want you to incorporate one or two or all of these things into your daily life. And you'll find that as you do this more often, as you make that switch mentally between your own language and English, more often as you do it daily, actually more than once a day. If you can do it 5, 6, 10 times a day, it's much better. And you'll get better at switching when you need to. And so I'm just going to give you a couple of things that you can do that will help you to be able to switch fast between English and your own language every day. So let's get started. Um, the first thing we're going to look at is what you can do online. I think one of the main things that the main differences that I've seen is if people change languages online. And okay, what do I mean by that? Well, the thing is, you use your computer often, I'm sure. You go online, you go on Facebook, you use your phone, and I'm sure your phone language, your Facebook language is your native language. Of course, I mean, that's what most people set it up as. But if you want to improve your ability to switch from your language to English, one of the easy things you can do is change the language of certain things that you use online. So, one thing that you can change, oh, I'm having problems with my mouse, is your Facebook language. Now, when you change the language in Facebook, this is in your settings, it doesn't change what people see when you write. So, if you're Danish and you change the language to English, it doesn't mean that everything you write is going to show up in English for everyone else. You can still write in Danish. Everyone else will see it just as they've always seen it. But Facebook will speak to you in English. So instead of, the notification that you got, for example, that says that I'm going live, that will be in English. Um, the where you put like, or you show what you think of things, all of those all of that will be in English. And so what will happen is automatically every time you come on Facebook, your brain is going to have to switch into English without you having to do any extra work. um, it's also a really useful practice because you'll actually get more English in your stream. Right now, it's showing you posts mostly in your language. When you switch your Facebook language to English, it tells Facebook, hey, I speak English. Go ahead and send me things in English as well. So if your friends post in English, it won't offer to translate it to your language. It'll put it up in English for you. So that's one thing you can do. Change your Facebook language to English. Another thing you can do is in your personal email, and I'm not talking about your work email here. I'm talking about your personal email address, and I'm not talking about the language that you write your email in, but the language that your email service provider is using. So if you use Gmail or Hotmail or whatever, make sure that the settings say that the language is English. So your inbox, all of the things around your mail, around the messages, will be in English. So whenever you go into your email, of course, your brain will have to switch to English without you even thinking about it. Your phone. Now, I'm sure you have a smartphone. Many people have a smartphone. It would very few people don't have smartphones, and even if you don't, no matter what kind of phone you have, you can change in the settings. You can change the language to English. So your, where it says contacts, where it says all of the messages and notifications from your smartphone will then come to you in English. Now, if this is a problem for you, say your English isn't very good and you get a notification in your phone in English and you have no idea what it means, you can change it back. You can change it back to your own language, read the notification, and then go back to English. But the fact of the matter is, most people use their phone many, many times a day. You look at it, you look at the screen, you get messages, you get notifications. If every time you look at that, it's speaking to you in English, your brain will get a lot of practice switching back and forth from your language to English. So go ahead and change your smartphone settings so that it speaks to you in English and you'll get a chance to flip that switch. Calendar appointments. Now, this is one thing, not everyone uses this, but if you use an online calendar, go ahead and switch that to English. Write your appointments in English. You don't have to necessarily send invitations to people in English. You can still use your language. But if you have your calendar, your online calendar in English, those appointments are going to, every time you look at your calendar, again, you're going to switch to English. The days of the week are there in English. The months, you'll get used to looking at it and saying the dates in English. Whatever you're putting in your calendar, say you have a meeting with someone, when you put it in your calendar, you write meeting with such and such a person about, and you can write what the meeting is about also in English for your description. And that way you'll train your brain to think in English. I think it's a really good idea to switch your calendar language to English and use it in English. Put your appointments down in English. Imagine what would you do if you were a native English speaker? And just do that. And the more you create habits around that, the better you'll be at using English in your everyday life. And I want to know from you, do you have any suggestions? How else can you switch to English online? What can you do in English to help you to switch back and forth from your language to English that you're not doing now? Or maybe you have something that you are doing now. But go ahead and type in the comments if you have any more suggestions for what you can do online. But I'm going to go on into what you can do offline. I am having a lot of problems here. Oops, there we go. So what can you do offline to uh, to help with switching back and forth? So let's look at this. I've made a list of a few things, and again, if you have any to add, go ahead and write them in the comments. It'll be great to hear from you. I'm sure some of you have some great ideas as well. So when you're offline, one of the things that I always recommend, and I'm sure you've heard me say this, is that you keep a journal. If you have a notebook where you write every day, write your thoughts, your feelings. Some of you are doing coaching with me, and I actually give you some journal prompts, some sentences to help you to know what to write about that day based on what you're trying to learn. But and also if you stay here in this group, I'll occasionally send out some journal prompts to help you with your journal. But if you write a journal every day in English, just free writing, don't use a dictionary, don't look up any words. You just write for 5 minutes in English. It automatically helps you to make that switch in your brain. So go ahead and get your journal going. And a lot of people ask me about this. Why does your journal have to be online? Why can't you just write your journal in a Word document or something? Different parts of your brain are activated when you write with pen and paper. and your memory is better. It does a lot more for your English, for your language learning to write by hand. So go ahead and get a notebook and a pen, and if you're not doing it already, start writing a journal in English daily. Okay. The next thing that you could do is, again, we talked about an online calendar, but if you have an offline calendar, maybe you write people's birthdays, maybe you write what you're doing, but start doing that in English. Um, write reminders to yourself in your calendar in English, and it will force you to switch back and forth. If you have a wall calendar, go ahead and see if you can order yourself one in English. You can go online and order them. They're probably the 2021 calendar is probably quite cheap now because we're already midway or more than halfway through January. So get your calendar in English so that every time you look at it, you're saying, today is Wednesday instead of whatever it is in your language. Another thing that you can do to improve your English or automate your English switch is write your shopping list in English. This is a fun one because you're writing down what you need to get from the supermarket. If you write it down in English, then the whole time you're shopping and looking at this English list, you start thinking and talking to yourself in English. So it's a wonderful way to switch into English at an unexpected time of the day, and it's quite easy. You can write your shopping list in English, and it will also help you to remember the words for the things that you use quite often. And talk to yourself. Have an internal monologue, I guess, in your head where you talk to yourself in English. Talk about what you're doing, what you want to do, your plans for the day. Of course, if your calendar and your shopping list are in English, it'll be much easier to remember to talk to yourself. And yeah, so that's what I'd like you to kind of do offline. And if you have any suggestions for what people can do offline, then go ahead and add them in the comments. I see people are commenting, but I don't see any suggestions. Do you guys have anything to add? Anything that you can do online or offline to help you to switch into English daily? Something that you would normally do in your language that you could easily switch to English, that will help you to automate that switch? Go ahead and write it in the comments. The next step, I think, is to make a commitment. I want you to make a commitment right now to to do one of these things, whether it's offline or online. Okay, choose what you are going to change today to help you with your switch. It may be different for different people, but write in the comments what you are going to change today, like right now, as soon as we finish this. What are you going to change to help you to switch back and forth from your language to English? Something that you would normally do in your own language, that if you put it into English, it'll help you daily to switch back and forth. We got some great suggestions. We have searching phrases in English online. That's a great idea when you use Google. If you do it online, if you do it in English, it's a wonderful, wonderful way to not only get more information. There will probably be a lot more information in English available than you can get in your own language. But of course, it helps you to practice your English because the results that you get will also be in English. So automatically, for the next 5 or 10 minutes, you're reading in English. We also have a suggestion of a to-do list. Excellent. Make your to-do list in English, and ta-da, not only are you going to be switching to English when you write the to-do list, but also when you're doing, the things on your list. Every time you go to check your to-do list and to cross something off and go to the next thing, you're switching back to English. So Jenan, it looks like you're going to make shopping lists in English and also suggest that we sing in English. Absolutely. Put on a playlist and sing along. One of the things you can do for singing is if there's a song you like, go to YouTube and type the name of the song and then write the word lyrics afterwards. Lyrics. And a lot of songs have videos up there where the lyrics to the song in English show up while you're singing. And so you can actually sing along. It's like doing karaoke, but for free. So daughter is going to start a journal. That is wonderful, daughter. Go ahead and start your journal, and reading instructions in another of something in another language is really good. So if you get the instructions for things, and automatically people kind of switch to their own language, go ahead and look at the English. It's almost always an option to do it in English. So this is wonderful. I think you guys are gonna are on your way to really automating your switch so that you can incorporate English more often into your daily life and that it'll become really automatic for you to switch to English naturally. I am so glad that you took the time to be with me today. I'll be here every week with a lightning lesson. All the lessons I plan to be about 10 minutes. This one went to 15. Ooh, we're still getting more suggestions. Anna likes to find recipes in other languages. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of recipe sites in English. So if you look up your recipes in English, not only, again, will you see the recipe in English, but while you're cooking, the whole time you're cooking, you're following that recipe in English and practicing your English. You'll get to know the names of the ingredients, how to cook, stir, mix, blend, whip, all of these words that are very specific to cooking, you'll learn them in English by following recipes. Yeah, so I'm so glad you joined me today, and I look forward to seeing you again next week for another lightning lesson. You can also download my guide to practice and come here in the group and send messages, talk to each other, talk to me. I write little questions up in the group and go ahead and answer them. I'd love to hear your feedback and suggestions. And also, if there's something you think I should do or you would like a lightning lesson on, go ahead and put it in the group and I will see what I can do. It's been wonderful being here with you today, and I look forward to next time. Go ahead and make something change today. Make a change that will help you to automate your English switch. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.